You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode number 203.1, our daily update on high school, college, and professional sports news in Central Indiana, with a little bit of major national sports news, anything that may be of interest to Central Indiana sports fans.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, we thank you for making us a small part of your day. Today is March 13th, 2025. It's a Thursday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengel, and I love Central Indiana sports. I am coming to you today from Madison Grant High School. Producer Susie is in the control room at headquarters in Jeffersonville. Coming up on this edition of the Daily Report, we have Ball State women results, Big Ten men's basketball results, and some other stuff. And we look ahead to a big Friday in Central Indiana. Before we get to all of that, please go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Central Indiana Sports Report. We are easy to find. Please go do that. Also, earlier Thursday, we released Will Rutherford's 5 Questions That Need Answers, our Indiana Wesleyan NAIA men's basketball preview, our Pacers report with Mike Rich, really good one. And later Thursday, we'll have Grant Schaus's reaction to IU's Big Ten quarterfinal matchup with Oregon. Coming up later today and Friday, we have so much boys regional content that you'll probably get sick of it. We have previews coming up for Tipton, Marion Delta, Wapahani, Daleville, and Liberty Christian beginning Thursday evening and running through Saturday morning. Of course, we'll also have all the results for you on Sunday Central Indiana Sports Report. Ball State's women dominated Western Michigan from start to finish in the opening round of the MAC tournament in Cleveland. The 27-5 and top seed Cardinals led 38-20 at the half and 64-40 through 3 quarters. The Cardinals will play 21-11 Kent State at 10 a.m. Friday in the semifinals. The Cardinals and Flashes split a pair of regular season games. Friday morning semifinals can be seen on ESPN+. 2-seed Toledo and 3-seed Buffalo will meet in the second semifinal, with the championship game and an NCAA tournament bid on the line is scheduled for 11 a.m. on Saturday on CBS Sportsnet. 5 Cardinals scored in double figures in Wednesday's win, led by 17 from Alex Richard. She was 8 for 12 from the field. Madeline Bischoff and Allie Becky scored 14 points apiece. Elise Stuck had 12 points and 6 rebounds off the bench. And Marie Kiefer, the MAC Defensive Player of the Year, had a double-double with 10 points and 13 rebounds. The first round of the Big Ten tournament at the Fieldhouse in Indianapolis is in the books. Northwestern beat Minnesota 72-64 behind Nick Martelli's 28 points. Iowa upset Ohio State 77-70, likely ending the NCAA hopes of the Buckeyes. And USC eliminated Rutgers 97-89 in double overtime. So that sets up Thursday's quarterfinals, starting with IU against Oregon at noon, so it's already begun. As of this recording, the Hoosiers lead Oregon 10-9 at the first media timeout. Again, we will get a full recap of the day from our IU guy, Grant Schaus, later Thursday. Game 2 on Thursday will feature Northwestern against number 18 Wisconsin at 2:30. The IU-Oregon winner takes on the Wisconsin-Northwestern winner. On the other side of the bracket, later Thursday, it's number 24 Illinois against Iowa at 6:30, followed by number 20 Purdue against USC in the final game of the day. All 4 games can be seen on the Big Ten Network. All of the conference tournaments are now underway. 3 more teams punched their NCAA tickets Wednesday. McNeese beat Lamar 63-54. American took the Patriot League crown by beating Navy 74-52. And 25-9 Montana won the Big Sky with a 91-83 win over Northern Colorado. There are No championship games on Thursday. Some games of interest, though, in the Big East. 14 and 18 Butler takes on 6th ranked St. John's at noon. St. John's leads 7-3 as we speak. Number 12, Iowa State, and number 17, BYU meet at 12:30 in the Big 12. Number 25, Marquette faces Xavier at 2:30 in the Big East. And Boise State and former Indiana Wesleyan star Javon Buchanan take on San Diego State. In the NBA Wednesday, the upstart Oklahoma City Thunder won in Boston and is now 54-12 on the season. They're 12 games up on Memphis and Denver for the top seed in the West. Cleveland has the best record in the NBA. They've won 15 games in a row and are 55-10, 8.5 games ahead of the world champion Celtics. And Ball State's men's volleyball team had its 3-match winning streak come to an end. Number 9, Loyola beat the Cardinals Wednesday. Ball State took the first set 25-22 before losing the final 3 close sets, 25-22, 25-22, and 25-20. Rajay Aline led the Cardinals with 15 kills. Coming up on a very busy Friday in central Indiana and honestly across the country, along with the Big Ten and conference tournaments continuing, the Pacers are in Philadelphia to take on the injury-plagued 76ers. Indiana's 36-28, tied for 4th in the East. The 76ers are 22-43. That game is scheduled for 7 o'clock. Indiana's men and women both get underway in the NAI tournament at home on Friday. The activity begins at Lucky Arena at 1 p.m. with the men's Dewar bracket semifinal between 25-6 Life, Georgia, and 20-10 Johnson, Tennessee, making its first ever NAI tournament appearance. That will be followed by 21-9 Indiana Wesleyan against 19-11 Madonna. The regional championship is 3 o'clock Saturday at Lucky Arena. The winner advances to the national finals in Kansas City. Earlier Thursday, we released our men's NAIA tournament preview with Kevin Helfrich. Then on Friday morning, we will have our women's NAIA tournament preview, also with Kevin Helfrich. The 29-2 and number 1 seed Wildcat women take over at 5:30 and will face 20-10 Philanthropy Smith from Arkansas in the first round. Grandview, Iowa, and Olivet Nazarene of Illinois play in the second regional semifinal. The championship is at 5 Saturday. The winner advances to the national finals in Sioux City, Iowa. Indiana Wesleyan will be a huge favorite going into that. IU baseball starts a 3-game series at home against Ohio State Friday. Purdue hosts UIC on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Ball State is 3-0 in the MAC and hosts Toledo for 3 games over the weekend starting Friday. Taylor's 8-0 in the Crossroads and goes to Spring Arbor, Michigan for doubleheaders on Friday and Saturday. Indiana Wesleyan is 6-2 in the Crossroads and is at St. Francis for 2 Friday and 2 Saturday. And IUK goes to Oakland City for 2 games on Friday and 1 on Saturday. In college softball, Indiana Wesleyan goes across the county to face Taylor for 2 games Friday, then hosts Grace for 2 on Saturday. Ball State opens MAC play at Akron with 3 games, 1 Friday and 2 Saturday. Anderson has 5 games this weekend in Elizabeth, Kentucky. Purdue goes to Los Angeles to face UCLA Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And IU starts a series at home against Iowa Saturday in the Hoosiers Big Ten opening series. The NCAA track and field finals at Virginia Beach, Virginia begins Friday morning at 9:30 a.m. and runs to 9 p.m. Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. On Fridays, Purdue's Zoe Sullivan will compete in the 60-meter hurdles. She's ranked 13th in the nation. On the men's side, Purdue's Cameron Miller is 4th nationally in the 200. That is also scheduled for Friday. Again, the meet continues on Saturday. Coming up on Saturday, we have 6 local teams competing in IHSA boys regionals and 7 regional teams. In Class A, 17-8 and defending regional champion Liberty Christian takes on 14-13 North Decatur at 1 in Greenfield. Liberty is the only Class A sectional champion who repeated this year. Rivals Daleville and Monroe Central will play at 4 at the famed Newcastle Chrysler Arena. At Frankfort, number 3 Clinton Prairie faces Lafayette Central Catholic. The Gophers are the highest ranked team in the north of the Class A field. In 2A, 19-6 Tipton faces number 4 Manchester at Logansport at 4. And number 1 Wapahani, the defending semi-state champions in Class 2A, are at Lapel at 4 to face 11-14 Western Boone. 14-11 Marion and 20-5 Maconaquah meet at 7 at Lapel in a 3A regional. Also in 3A, 16-7 and defending regional champion Delta will battle number 7 Blackhawk, which has moved up from Class A to 2A to 3A because of their past success. That game is scheduled for 7 also at Chrysler Arena. The best game of the weekend may be in the south of Class 3A, where number 3 New Pal and star Julius Jeezy takes on number 5 Guerin Catholic and star Bryson Cardinal. We have no local teams left in 4A. However, regionally, number 1 Fishers has won 40 games in a row and gets 19-6 Harrison at 7 at Frankfort. And 20-5 Mount Vernon and 13-12 Brownsburg will play for a regional championship at 1 at Southport. Also Saturday, Northwestern senior Taylor Schmidt, a state finalist diver a few weeks ago, will compete in the state finals in gymnastics at Worthen Arena at Ball State. Schmidt finished second in the all-around to Valparaiso's Megan Gillibay at the Portage Regional last Saturday. Schmidt finished in the top 4 also in the bars, beam, and floor at the regional. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana sports. Hey, thank you so much for listening again and making it this far into the podcast. Please do us a huge favor if you want to see us continue to grow and thrive, and tell your friends and family about the Central Indiana Sports Report. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.